Honorable Chair, respected speakers, and the audience, especially the students here. Assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning still. Oh, sorry, afternoon. Uh, I love this international conference. One of the reasons being is that the main theme is globalization, entrepreneurship, and economy. That leads to the development of a country. And if you take a coin, as per Robert McNamara, development is one side of a coin, the other side is security, where maritime security is probably one of the major cornerstone of the total gamut of security. That's make me very happy, and my topic is transnational maritime crime, which is a major portion of the maritime security. The challenging portion is that the guru of maritime security is watching me from the back, Professor Chris. That's the challenging part. There will be a lot of overlapping things which Admiral Khaled has spoke about, also the chairman has spoke about. So let me get on to it. Now, maritime security is particularly pertains all the issues that relates to the sea, and it entails provisions of a secure environment at and from the sea that fosters a national growth, where national transboundary crime are directly related with the maritime security. Okay, is it working? Are directly related with the maritime security, hence with the maritime security issues, regional security issues. Now, the security of a nation state is not confined with the traditional definitions of security alone, that we all know about it. Rather, it encompasses a range of factors like economy, society, environment, and so on and so forth. In the 21st century, the Indian Ocean has emerged as the great commons of the world, as 70% of the cargo tonnage moves across it, which was rightly explained by Admiral Khaled. And the development and security of sea lines of communication, which carries the bulk of the cargo, the business, the tonnage, is directly interlinked, in which maritime transboundary crimes are becoming prevalent day by day across the maritime nations because of its monetary value and ease of doing it. Now, I will speak on this few points that are there in next 10 minutes or so, and I will try to justify my time. Okay. Now, maritime transboundary crime is nature and multifaceted dimension. The reason is that the non-traditional threats, there is two types of threats. One is the traditional threats and the non-traditional threats. The traditional threats, the countries fight with each other. The non-traditional threats that are emerging, they are varied in nature and hence very difficult to identify. And it occurs at unspecified time. In other words, they are episodic in nature. The dimension of such threat is not classic and may have a range of from inshore waters up to the deep ocean. The actors involved in this non-traditional security threats also varied. And many non-traditional threats that begins in the land, which some of the scholars calls it as chaos of the littorals, and the non-traditional threats to maritime security are extremely asymmetric in nature and are very challenging to deal with. The unclosed tree, which was referred earlier, remains obscure on non-traditional maritime threats in explicit terms, if I may say. And the transboundary maritime crimes referred to what they are nature are not international but involve cross-border transference. And unlike domestic crimes, which takes place in every country within the territory or territorial sea, it goes beyond the national territorial remit, are therefore legally very challenging. Think about a ship which the master belongs to one country, the owner belongs to another country, the crew belongs to another country, and the cargo belongs to many countries. Now, it doesn't mean that the whole world is coming to Indian Ocean, but it just wanted to say that the global trade now is becoming more of Indian Ocean centric. And when I talked of Indian Ocean region, I mean the Indo-Pacific region as a whole. The overview of, you talk of the overview of the security environment in the region in very brief, there are two overlapping regional systems over here. The first one embraces the Indian Ocean centric issues. They are specific to the Indian Ocean and littorals. And second one is the Indian Ocean as a part of wider Indo-Pacific strategic system that embraces trade routes and sea lanes as global highway, which I am sure you can see at the third bullet. Now, this is the point where Admiral and also the Chris has rightly explained why it is so important, this Indian Ocean, because of this, all these choke points, because of the resources that carried from here, and here the choke points are here, and for which at any given time in this water, Indian Ocean, there are as many as 124 naval ships of 24 different countries operating in this area. Same goes to the ships from the country of Chris. I hope after the Brexit they will still stay on. And this is also another reason that has been rightly explained by my previous speakers. It's always hard to speak in the third or fourth number when most of the slides become common. However, these figures that are shown here are definitely bound to increase. Now, in the same way, there are two factors which significantly contributes in the new security agenda of this maritime domain. One is the globalized network that increase the vulnerability to non-state actors to a range of transnational threats and crimes. So globalization here also has a negative impact. Secondly, the technological development in respect of telecommunication, in respect of weaponry, sensors and so on, and for which everyone must realize that there is no option other than everybody to understand that these are common problems for all littorals and all the countries. Now let me come straight away to the problems that are coming because of shortage of time. Trafficking. When I talk of trafficking, it includes trafficking of human being, trafficking of drug, weapon, and so on. If you see these trade routes, the land routes and the sea routes, the two colors are there. The Indian Ocean in general and the Bay of Bengal, unfortunately, has become the epicenter. The people are falling victim of the hope of renewed prosperous life. And unfortunately, the scarce arch strategy of Myanmar, the Rohingya issue and other issues that are coming up, I'm sure we all are aware of it, and that is a serious problem and is going to increase further in the days to come, unless some serious actions are taken in respect of Myanmar. The human trafficking, both male and female, women and children are the most affected. Now, in respect of drug, the Golden Crescent and Golden Triangle, both are very close to our area. And human trafficking, drug trafficking, gun running, abduction, black money, all these are interrelated. These are a vicious cycle, unfortunately, where it takes place in the maritime domain. And examples are, we know the menace that LTT carried out in Sri Lanka, how they got the fund and how they got the weapon and what they have done. Thanks to Sri Lankan Armed Forces, they did a wonderful job. And now what Abu Sayyaf group is doing in Philippines and that whole area, we all are aware of it. Now the new problem that coming in the Golden Triangle, the Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, those areas, that the synthetic drug, you can control the natural drugs. Some of the countries has legalized marijuana and other things. But the synthetic drugs that are coming up nowadays, and the route is primarily again the maritime routes, is almost a $60+ billion trade. And we all know in Bangladesh the effect of Yaba. Now, piracy. The piracy is an universal crime, and piracy, armed robbery, and petty theft with the nexus, with the ship's crew, with the insurance companies, it makes it extremely complicated issue. I am very thankful to RECAP and the maritime organizations, especially IM also, to add this word petty theft and the definition, of course, so that this petty theft makes Bangladesh ports much cleaner. I'm sure you can see the number of incidents are also increasing day by day. Maritime terrorism, you know about the 2008, the Mumbai attack, the things that are happening in Persian Gulf area, the new dimension of terrorism and global, it has a new dimension in terrorism. But the recent incidents in the Persian Gulf, you call it a state-sponsored terrorism, whatever you call it, but it is something is going to increase and is really destabilizing the global economy and maritime trafficking as well. Marine pollution, Admiral Khaled has talked a lot about it. I just want to name it as plastic terrorism. That's my very favorite word, plastic terrorism, because you will find more number of plastics out at sea than the number of fishes. Death of marine life, drinking water, I know I have got two minutes, I will go very quickly. Illegal, unreported fishing, Admiral Khaled again spoke in depth about it. Just a point to note is that 33% in globally, 40% in our region, in the Indian Ocean area. There are no shortage of international law to curb this. However, the problem is laws are in abundance, need cooperation, coordination, and application. Who will do it and how we will do it? Some of the initiatives are being taken. China is taking a major initiative in the Mekong Delta countries. ASEAN is doing a great job among themselves in their charter. RECAP, the Singapore-based organization, they are also trying their best in respect of piracy and armed robbery. There are a lot of extra-regional powers who are present here, as I mentioned earlier. They are also stepping up their effort in our area because of everybody has interest in the Indian Ocean range. What are the opportunities in the Bay of Bengal? The Big B initiative by Japan is good. I am very hopeful about the BIMSTEC. They are doing a great job, and I am sure the BIMS here, no other people are here, only the Bay of Bengal community is here. So BIMSTEC is doing a great, fantastic job, and I hope and pray that it does not end up like SARC. It should grow, and we all should support it. And the important point here is that India, the number one country in this region, they have changed their mindset, which we can see in 2018, their last maritime strategy, the outlook that brought out, they are talking hugely on cooperation and coordination. Same, there's another organization named IONS, is the navies of the all Indian Ocean countries. They are gathering, Bangladesh is taking a major lead role over here, and I am sure if IONS can survive, they will be able to do a much greater job. Now, in concluding remarks, the challenges to tackle transboundary crime to ensure maritime security in the region are multifaceted and complex. I am sure you have understood. The importance of ocean as a common security space and to work out collectively a strategy for a common response is very important. The last point I want to summarize is that we have to work together. We have to work together for our mutual benefit because the sea, the maritime transportation, maritime life, marine life, everything is important for our present generation, for our future, and we can't let it be destroyed. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.